Alright, hello. It's another Bulu Sound stream, and I am here with my brand new computer, by which I mean I recently got it, and it's a few years newer than my previous computer. So this is a 2012 Mac Pro as opposed to my previous 2008 Mac Pro. It says mid-2010 here, but that's because they have the same model identifier, so like I think the 2012 version was like the same base computer but with, you know, a faster CPU, maybe some more RAM, I don't know. But yeah, I got this for pretty cheap. It was allegedly not powering up, that's why I got a good deal on it, and I figured, well, I can fix it. And it turns out all it actually needed was a NVRAM reset, which, you know, you do that by booting the computer and holding Command Option PR. Okay, I notice chat overlay is not quite working. Let me have a quick look at that. That's weird. Maybe if I go... There we go. Okay. So yeah, new Mac Pro 5,1. It's got a 2.8 GHz quad-core Xeon. I have a CPU upgrade for this, but I haven't been able to install it yet because I'm waiting for a screwdriver that is able to open up the heatsink, because that requires a pretty long one. Memory, I got 48 gigs, which is an upgrade from my 32 that I had previously. And also a really nice thing about this is that it's DDR3 and not fully buffered DDR2, which the 2008 Mac Pro uses. And the issue with fully buffered DDR2 is that it gets super hot, and the modules actually each need a heatsink, and even with the heatsinks, the fans ramp up quite quickly under like very small loads, so the hope is that this one is gonna run cooler, quieter, and so far that seems to be the case. Then I got the AMD Radeon RX 580, which is one of the newest GPUs that are actually compatible with macOS. I actually made a bit of a mistake. I got the 4GB version, but it turns out there is an 8GB version, so I might try to find one of those eventually, but it might not make that much of a difference for what I'm planning to do on this computer. Okay, so I tend to do a lot of music programming and just general programming streams, but tonight I think we won't be doing any programming at all. Instead, I figured that we could look at the latest versions of Bitwig and Reason. Oh, hello, Emil Gonzo. How are you doing? Yeah, latest versions of Bitwig and Reason, which are the two main DAWs that I use, and actually both of those recently dropped support for macOS 10.14, which I have on the older Mac. They now require 10.15, which is funny because that also like a pretty outdated version, but that's how audio software moves a lot of the time. Hello, Moimu. So, you're doing great. That's good to hear. Yeah, so I've actually installed Bitwig and Reason on here, and those are in fact the only things I've installed so far. So I got the latest versions of both, and it's gonna be the first time I actually try these out. And now, show something cool. Well, we'll see if we get there. It's gonna be a bit of exploration of these new versions, I guess. So I can go ahead and create a new project, and the first thing I notice is that the interface is much brighter than I prefer. I think there's a place to configure that, but I'm not sure where exactly. Is it under behavior? No, you'd think it's under user interface. Oh, here. Black level I think is the one I use, and then there's midtones, but maybe I can leave midtones on the default. This looks better. Right, let me turn off the music there. So, what is actually new in Bitwig 5.2? Maybe that's something I should look into. I didn't really... Well, I read these at one point, but then I forgot, and then I haven't checked them recently. There's a new compressor. Okay, that's not super exciting to me. There's new EQs. Okay, so kind of like this very tool-focused thing. This update. Mouseless navigation is a breeze in Bitwig Studio 5.2. Let me make this a bit bigger. So this is actually the main thing maybe that interests me. Mouseless navigation. Oh. But I don't know where the new key bindings are documented. I know there's this video, but it's quite long, and you know, I would just like to have like a cheat sheet of the new stuff, but okay, new graphics engine to be more responsive and efficient, sure. Undo for plugins, that's good, I've been missing that. Okay. Was the music you turned off yours? Yes, it was. It is my EP called Flickers from 2022 on Bandcamp. Actually, I'll turn it back on for a moment because I'm thinking I want to have my MIDI controller set up here, so I'm gonna do that. So the MIDI controller in question is my DJ Tech Tools MIDI Fighter Twister, and I actually have the wrong patch for this right now, so this will take a bit of setup. We're gonna need the MIDI Fighter utility. From an unidentified developer, so we have to do the old right-click open. Okay, that's started up, and it looks like it's communicating successfully. Then we need what is called Twister Sister. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Let's add MIDI Fighter. Here we go. So this is an extension . Sorry, this is... yeah, I guess this is both an extension for Bitwig and a corresponding control mapping for the MIDI Fighter Twister. Okay, so how do we install? Okay, we just check the docs on the GitHub. Installation. Okay, so first on the MIDI Fighter, we're gonna import settings, downloads, Twister Sister.mfs. And then I guess we click send to MIDI Fighter. Okay, that's done. Then we need to put the Bitwig extension in its folder. And then I don't know if we need to maybe restart Bitwig. Probably, yeah. Oh. Twister Sister crashed. Oh, we also need this file right here. Try again, and that seems to work. Then we can go back to settings, controllers, and it's actually set up already. Nice. Right, so the thing with this extension is that now the controller is like automatically mapped to stuff in Bitwig. So the first knob here moves between different tracks. The second one is apparently the gain or like volume on that track. Then we have pan. Actually, I noticed that my default volume is now... where is it? There. New track volume is minus 10 dB by default, but I prefer to have it on 0 dB. Okay, then we have, I think, a knob for send effects, but we don't have any right now. So with that set up, we can start exploring, I think. Oh, hello, Biter's Cat. I thought Windows UAC is bad. This was awful. I mean, I kinda appreciate that it's there, because it protects you from accidentally opening something that you expect to be from a verified developer and then it isn't. And you just have to do the right-click open once, and then after that it's like trusted on that computer, so it's fine, I think. Right, so let's close all this extra stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna turn off the music. So, yeah, so on the Bitwig side we don't have much that's new in the way of like synths or, let's say, sound design effects. Well, I mean, EQ and compressor are sound design effects, but I mean more like, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, but they're kind of like, I don't know, utility effects more than maybe creative effects. Hello, Klaus, you the best, thank you. Okay, let's instead look at what's new in Reason 13, because I already have Reason 13 installed as well, and I think I should be able to use the Reason Rec plugin. Ooh, license missing. Okay, I need to do that. Is your music available anywhere? Yes, absolutely. So if you go to pulu.bandcamp.com, you can find most of it. Well, at least the stuff that's like released. Then if you go from here to my main website, which is pulusound.fi, here's links to all my platforms, because I post here and there, not in a very consistent way. A lot of the more recent stuff is actually just short TikTok videos, so TikTok people are kind of getting an exclusive view into what I'm doing. Just because it's a pain to post on many platforms, so I usually don't bother. But yeah, Reason 13. I really don't like Safari very much, but I haven't installed Firefox yet, and well, I haven't installed most of like the apps that I rely on daily, so this is a very fresh OS, but I'm gonna try not to do so much setup on this stream. But just looking for like what's new, maybe under news, that would make sense, right? Making of Reason 13. Why upgrade to Reason 13? Maybe that's interesting. New in 13, okay. So we have an upgraded sequencer, a brand new browser, 5 new devices. This is gonna be the most interesting part, I think. And more sounds. Okay. So the browser is nice. The sequencer update is nice if you use Reason as a DAW, but I mostly don't do that these days. I just use it as a plugin in Bitwig, so I don't care that much. But the new devices are gonna be the main point of interest. So we have Polytone, which is a dual layer synthesizer, and this one is pretty cool. It's like a virtual analog, and there's two layers, so it's like A and B, and they have the same controls, but you can make like totally different sounds for each, and then you can do some fun stuff with them, like you can blend between layer A and B, just like mixing, or you can do this morphing thing, so it'll just morph the parameters between the different sounds, and that is going to be really interesting for me to try out. Here we can see a screenshot of it, and soon we'll see it in Reason. Then there's Ripley Space Delay, and I mean, I love delays, although I tend to prefer building them myself, and this looks like they just jammed a lot of stuff into a delay device, so they've got a noise generator in there, a distortion, I think this is a bit crusher, ducker, feedback filter, that might be interesting. But yeah, mostly I build this kind of thing by, for example, taking the Bitwig delay plus and just shoving other units into the delay path or whatever. Then there's more utility stuff like sidechain tool, gain tool, stereo tool. Stereo tool is like a stereo widener, and they have some kind of interesting algorithm for doing that. I think that's not been a thing in Reason before, so previously you had, I guess, the M-class stereo imager, which lets you take a stereo source and then narrow it to mono gradually, but this one lets you go the other way. So from a mono source you can get stereo, and in a way where supposedly when mixed back to mono it stays like phase coherent, so that's cool. Okay, that's all I care to see from that website. So let's actually just get exploring Polytone. So we'll make one of those. Can I make this dark mode? Yeah. Requires restart. What exactly does restart mean in the context of a VST though? Maybe if I deactivate it, then reactivate. Okay, yeah, now it's in dark mode. I feel like they should just, you know, read the OS dark mode setting and choose based on that, like most software does these days. But yeah, Polytone. So let's see here. I'm gonna need some sort of sequence because I don't have a MIDI keyboard here to play notes with. I mean, there's one over there, but it's getting kind of cramped on this table and I don't feel like cleaning up right now. So instead, let's make a player. Put in a scales and chords. Then I guess I just want something to make kind of random notes. There is a thing in Bitwig called Note Grid, which I guess we can use as the input for this. So let's take a pitches from here, get rid of all these default inputs. I think I need a phase in for this. Or is this... Yeah, that should get device phase by default. Maybe it's because I'm not making gates, so let's do that as well. Although, I mean, this isn't progressing, I think. Is there a thing here where it needs to receive like incoming nodes? Oh, yeah, we need to set it to mono. Okay, that gets us something. Okay, this is still running even though stopped. I think that's because of a free run when stopped, so we don't want that. Let's choose a scale. I'm gonna go with D. They don't have a lot of scales in this device. Let's go for D Dorian. That's all white keys. So this gets us basic chords. We can do inversions, we can do open chords. Okay, I think I wanna have these run a little slower, so for that I think I need, what is it? Phase scalar, maybe? So I run the device phase into this, and then I can multiply that by some number. So for example, 1:2 ratio halves the speed of that. But I want to go even slower, because I want to have like... Oh. So I'm thinking I'll do some ambient type of stuff. So I want to have like long sustained chords. Or pads, as you might call them. The kind of awkward thing about this device is that when you change the number of steps, if you reduce the number of steps, then the steps become longer, and if you increase the number of steps, then they become shorter, because like the way it uses the phase is it goes from 0 to 1, and 0 is the beginning and 1 is the end of this, so it can be a bit awkward to work with. Okay, but here we have something, so now I can maybe... Okay, first one more thing. So I now notice that this is like fully legato now, so the steps are never re-triggering. And I think there's a way to fix that. Gate length could be it, but I wish there was some way to say, like, I want legato of like 90% or something. But yeah, I guess I could probably build that in the grid. Could I? Probably, but it's gonna get a bit complicated. So let's just, you know, make this by hand. I think this is a good tempo to work with. Then I'm gonna slow things down a little bit more. And this is very trial and error getting the gate length right. I could calculate it, but okay, this is good enough. Wait, why is this not working? Is it too long after all? Well, I think now it seems to be working. So maybe it was a little bit too long. And then two gates overlapped and then they kind of turn into one. Something like that. Okay. Let me maybe tweak the patch here a little. Okay, right there we've got a little pad sequence going. So let's see what kind of oscillators we have. I think I'm gonna reset this device. So this band noise oscillator is pretty cool, I think. I wonder if there's an octave control on this. Well, I guess there's pitch. No, I like this octave actually. This is already like a pad sound in itself. Let's try out the new delay, Ripley. Although I actually want to have this in a separate track, because the way I like to add insert effects is to do parallel processing. So I'm gonna put my Ripley here. It's gonna be in parallel with the dry signal. Also, I'm noticing that load default sound in new devices is on, which I don't like. I prefer to start from blank patches. Just so I don't have to go and, you know, turn off a bunch of stuff in the default patch. So what do we have here? We have a time control, of course. I'll make that 5/16. We have a freeze, that's nice. Feedback. Wobbler. So I think this adds a bit of pitch modulation to the delay. It's a nice effect when used sparingly. Then there's ping pong, one of my favorite effects. So now you really need to be listening in stereo to hear this, but that's how it goes. Noise. I don't know if I like the noise on this patch, because what's nice about this one is that it's kind of pure. Like, spectrum. There's some overtones. I wonder if that's aliasing actually. But if so, what is aliasing? Is it polytone itself? Interesting. Well, either way, the point is that it's mostly a pure tone, so adding noise to it doesn't really seem to fit that well. Same kind of goes for bit crushing. Then we have EQ, we have Docker. Docker, I don't think really makes sense on this kind of effect. Feedback filter, that's quite nice. Although it also doesn't make much sense with a pure tone like this. So I picked a really bad sound to demonstrate this Ripley thing, but that's fine, to be honest. I like the way it sounds now. I mean, I could have done this with any delay really, but I am thinking though maybe a little less low end on this whole sound could be nice, because it's a little bit rumbly. Maybe a low shelf, actually. And again, it doesn't make that much sense to filter such pure tones, but we do have a chord, so this is basically just trying to attenuate the lower notes of the chords. Okay. And maybe it would make sense to use clips here instead of the arranger. Although I'm not sure how the device phase works with these clips, because it doesn't seem like it's starting from 0, which is what I would want. Did I miss something here? Maybe I need to do a reset when we start playing. Yeah, I think that's it. So with that, I can use my clips after all. Or so I thought. What's going on here? Okay. Then let's name this pad 1. Getting some annoying notifications on my streaming computer, but that should be sorted now. I'm thinking maybe some kind of field recording-ish layer. The thing is though, I don't have any of my recordings or samples or anything on this computer yet. So we'll have to try to find something from the Bitwig library. Actually, let's not do a sampler, but let's make another Reason rack. And one option here is Mimic, which is the Reason sampler from Reason 12. Another would be to go with Grain, the granular synthesizer, although I think this one has some granular features as well. Yeah, we got here in the stretch type. It kinda looks like all I have at this point are drum samples, which doesn't really work for field recording. Field recording type of sounds. Is there a package with like something in this direction? If anyone is familiar with the Bitwig packages and would like to recommend something that has kind of field recording-y background ambiences or whatever, then please let me know in the chat. I don't know. Maybe I will try Earth Moments loops, although that sounds like it's more like instrument loops, but maybe we can do something with that. And of course there's always the option of synthesizing like noise layers. I'm gonna stop this for a second. Is there a way to filter by pack or collection? Yeah, I guess there is.
Gun.
Okay, maybe I want to try doing something with this. So, how would that work? I guess we'll make another clip and put here another note grid. Oh yeah, I gotta do this again. Set voices to mono. Actually, I don't think I want gates here. What I want is transport playing. Loop. I wonder if there's a freeze function. I'm not seeing one. Maybe I'll try this with grain instead, because I know that one a bit better. Right, so what I want to do here actually is have this kind of sweep through this whole loop randomly. And to do that, I guess I'll map the modulation wheel to the position. Although apparently it only goes halfway. Interesting. Is it because this is bipolar or what? No, it is unipolar, but it only goes halfway. Okay. Then maybe I can scale by. But they don't have constants in this device. Maybe I can add destination 2. Hello, Ward 6969 Hunter. Officer Max is with me. I really don't know who that is, but I hope that's a good thing, although officers often are bad news. I figured this would work, but it doesn't. Okay, we can do the roundabout programming way, which is to use a Thor. We'll route this to modulation input 1, and then we'll take it into CV input 1 here, and then this is what will eventually modulate the position. Then this goes to CV out 1, this one gets reset. He is gay. I don't know. I still don't know what you're talking about. Right, so then in Thor, how on earth have I done this before? Or maybe, because I remember one device actually has a constant element in the modulation matrix. Maybe it's polytone actually. Does it even have a matrix? I don't think so. Maybe replay. No, I don't think I can make this work with that. This is annoying. This is one of my main gripes with Reason, that when you want to do something that's kind of like a more fine-grained programming task, then it can become quite difficult. So all I want to do right now is multiply the mod wheel by 2 and then have that modulate the position in the sample, but I cannot seem to figure out a way to do that. But maybe there is, and I just don't know it. Another option would be to put this in a combinator. And then in the combinator we can assign one of the controls to the position. Still not used to the new combinator where you have to click the editor open from here instead of from here. Small difference, but I used the old one for years and years, so it takes a bit getting used to. So we'll just skip the mod wheel and actually assign, what is it, control 1 to sample position. I guess that is gonna be start position, maybe. Okay, so now that goes through the whole range, so that's good. And then with that, we can actually modulate that with, I don't know, LFO. Or actually, I want random, maybe? Yeah. It can be quite fast, I think. Then we just want to map that to control 1. I don't know about this one, but with this setup we can maybe check out some other sounds for this. This one kind of works, although I would maybe need to pitch it. But I was thinking this would be more of a non-tonal sound, so... Yeah, out of these, I do think I maybe prefer the original sample. What was it called again? Kanjiro. Oh, there's different variations of it. Yeah, I think I can work with this. Maybe we can modulate the grain parameters, like the rate, for example. So let's add control 2, target grain engine. Where is it? Is it rate spacing? Yeah. Then we can do another random modulator here. Also, I think this whole sound is quite quiet, so you might not be able to hear it unless you're on headphones. And you can boost it a little. I think 50% is a pretty good pan spread there. Okay, then I'm gonna automate the grain length. Gotta set the range to something reasonable. I broke something for a moment there. That was not pleasant. Oh well, was there like a loud noise or something? I don't think I got something on my end. Oh yeah, I mean, yes, there was when I had the very long rate or grain length. Yeah, sorry about that. Hello, White Ninja. Are you trans? Yes, I am. Okay, that seems like a good range to me, so let's do yet another random modulator. Map that. To our control 3. So now we got some kind of noise going on. I'm not really happy with it like this. Why? What's pushing you to do that? Well, the fact that I just got a new computer and I wanna explore Bitwig 5.2 as well as Reason 13. I think that's a good reason to be doing this. Now something broke again. Why is there no sound from this channel? Oh, no, wait. It is wired up correctly, so what on earth? It seems like we're not getting MIDI. Huh, I guess it just needed a restart. Oh yeah, maybe the MIDI gate ends when you add new devices to the graph. That might be it. What's his performance? I'm not sure what you mean. Can you rephrase that? Anyway, I wanted an EQ plus in here. Hello, Rosenrod. I really liked your content. Thank you. So I'm gonna take some of the bass out of this sound. Oh, the PC performance. Right, so this is a Mac Pro 2012, so when I say new computer, there's a bit of, should I say, irony to that, because I work with quite old Macs, and before this I had a 2008 Mac Pro, so it's 4 years newer, so it's a significant upgrade, but it's still not, you know, bleeding edge. But this has right now got a 4-core Xeon running at, what is it, 2.8 gigahertz. I have a 6-core over there that I want to put in this machine, but I'm waiting for a screwdriver to arrive so I can do that. And it's got 48 gigs of RAM, and then the GPU is AMD RX 580. Maybe I want to take some of the treble out as well. Okay, so if I basically band pass it like this, it kind of becomes this almost... There's a bit of like a water feeling to it, like waves crashing against something. Hey Daily, are you trans? Yes, I am. Why are people asking this today? Like, do you not see the flag? Okay, we're getting some bigots in the chat. That actually reminds me that I need to set up better moderation functions, because if I do this, then I think I need to restart this actually. That's not great. I should really add some support in my chat overlay for... Okay, interesting. Apparently the deleted messages still show up through the API. That really sucks. All right. That's good enough for now. Regarding moderation, it sounds like Silent Hill theme. Oh really? I haven't actually played any Silent Hill, so I'm not familiar with the theme. So, what I was gonna do here was maybe automate also the cutoff here to give it a bit of waviness. Okay, so we are unfortunately getting these assholes tonight. In the chat. Yeah, so the thing here is that my chat overlay is not designed to handle message deletion, so I have to do a bit of manual work to get rid of these negative messages. Hello, Jono. New computer, what did you go for? Yeah, so that's the thing. When I say new, it's new in quotation marks. So this is a 2012 Mac Pro, which is 4 years newer than my previous Mac Pro. Yes, new to me, and I got a super good deal on this because the previous owner couldn't get it to power on, and so they thought it was broken. Turns out it wasn't, it just needed a NVRAM reset, and everything works fine. But yeah, I was gonna automate this thing here. So yeah, I kind of remain stuck with these old desktop or workstation Macs because I like Mac OS, and well, I like Linux as well, but I have a lot of money and work invested into Mac OS, so eventually I probably need to move to Linux, but it's such a massive undertaking that I try to avoid that. So my options at this point are basically old Mac Pros that can be upgraded, or Hackintosh, which I also do have a Hackintosh, but yeah, I haven't really used that as my main computer. That's great. I think last time I watched your stream you were tinkering with iBook G4s and OS 9. Yeah, I've been doing SuperClider 2 with the iBook. And I've been using that laptop as a gigging machine for like 3 performances now, and it works super well. Which Linux distro you prefer? That's a tough question. I'm kind of into Nix OS at the moment, but that's mostly on the server side. I don't really have experience with using that on desktop yet, although I would like to try that. I guess mostly I've used Arch. Arch is alright, I think. I like their package management system, and it's easy to create your own packages for, in comparison to something like Debian or Ubuntu, where it's like a lot more work to make your own package. At least I feel like it is. But yeah, with Nix OS, I really like the whole declarative aspect of the OS. So basically you can have your whole configuration in a Git repo somewhere, and then you just do Nix OS rebuild, and it applies that configuration and gets all your software and sets up everything, and it's nice. I'm also using Nix on my Macs, actually, Nix Darwin, to set up my configurations and stuff. But yeah, I don't know how Nix OS actually is on the desktop. I need to try that out at some point. Right now my only Linux desktop is not a desktop, but it's this EPC from 2008. This is a 32-bit machine, so I was kind of limited in what distros I could use, so I just went with Debian Bookworm on that. And I mean, it's fine. I can live with it. And also on this thing, I'm not creating my own packages that much. I'm mainly using Emacs and SuperCollider, so it's fine. Currently evaluating Ubuntu 24.04 with Omacub. It has some quirks, but it seems pretty nice so far. What is Omacub? I haven't heard of that. I do really like the form factor of those triple E machines, so tiny. Yeah, that is the really nice thing about them, and I mean, there's good and bad things to it, right? The keyboard is a little bit cramped, although I don't have like super large fingers, but it's still a bit awkward to type on. Try Linux Mint on that little old monster. I'm not sure what's the advantage of Mint over Debian. Hello, not a throwaway on TikTok. Apparently my overlay is again broken. Let's try that again. That triple E PC was my first PC ever. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm a bit older than that, so it was not my first PC, but I got this one from university actually, when I started my bachelor's thesis in computer science. We were the first year to get like a study laptop. And yeah, I still have it because of reasons. They never wanted it back. Okay, Omacub blurb: turn a fresh Ubuntu installation into a fully configured, beautiful and modern web development system by running a single command. Right, so what does that mean exactly? It installs probably Node for you, maybe npm and or some other package manager, maybe an editor. But which one though? That's the question. I'm gonna guess it's not Emacs. Okay, I think the 4 pole here is actually more along the lines of what I want. Languages are configurable. Okay. NeoVim, alright, yeah. I mean, if that works for you, then that sounds convenient. I'm the type of person who prefers to set up my Linux on a very granular level, so probably not for me. Like, for example, on the EPC I scrapped whatever the default window manager and desktop environment was and installed i3 and spent quite a bit of time customizing it to my taste. And then of course I have a Emacs configuration that's been getting refined over the past decade or so. Okay, but I'm gonna add some effects here, because I feel like this could use a bit of delay. Yeah, then with the delay, I actually wanted to have it free running. And maybe even modulate the delay time, because that's a nice effect. LFO. A little slower. I don't know if I like the way the delay time modulation sounds on this effect. Maybe it's fine with a bit less modulation. Something like this. Then I want to try a bit of reverb on that, and my best reverbs are in Reason, so I'm gonna pull up, what are they called? Verb. Oh yeah, then I wanna do this one in parallel. I am actually noticing already that Bitwig is running quite a bit smoother than on the old computer, but also they did say in the release notes for 5.2 that they've optimized the graphics engine, so it's hard to say how much is the new computer and how much is the optimization. Okay, I think this works for me. I'm gonna call it waves. Also, important thing to do is to save your projects. I don't know what to call this. I'm gonna call it new computer. So then, Maybe I want to try another polytone. So that's gonna be yet another Reason rack. Maybe here we can put like an actual melody or something. Oh, they have a new effect on this. What is it called? Like the playhead indicator. There's like this little gradient that goes after it, which wasn't there in the previous version. Everything looking so complicated, I feel like watching someone hacking NASA. I mean, yeah, I don't know if you have an experience with music production, but if not, then yeah, then probably looks very complicated. But also, Bitwig is, even among music software, kind of maybe aimed at a more or like a more technical audience, like people who want to do detailed sound design and stuff, so that might also be part of it. Okay, how do I make this longer now? Do I just drag this? I need to bring up the chords so I remember what the sequence actually is here. And it gets a bit cramped with this single display here. Have you used Sunvox? Yes, actually a little bit. I have it on my phone, and it's maybe the best or my favorite music production software for Android. But I can't say I've finished any tracks with it yet, but I have some, like, you know, 4 8-bar loops that I made with it. But yeah, Sunvox is pretty neat. It's also got this kind of modular system. A bit similar to the Bitwig Grid, but I would say simpler. Okay, here is my sequence. I got a bit lost there for a moment. So... Okay, so the next node is a G. Let me just do this. There can be some complicated looking module diagram setups in Sunbox. Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean more that the basic building blocks are simple in some ways, or simpler than Bitwig. You don't get like all these fancy UIs for each module. Mostly you have like a list of parameters that you can tweak. But I think some of this stuff like node sequencing does not exist in the Sunvox graphs, if I remember correctly, because they also have this like tracker sequencer, and that's where you're meant to put your nodes. Maybe there is something like that as well, I don't know actually. You know, it occurs to me that I don't need to do this in this way. I can just go in here and grab my node grid, paste it here, then I'm gonna need maybe the same stuff from the Reason rack here, which is, well, the scales and chords player. Can I copy paste that? Yeah. Okay, so now we have a pad on this track as well, but that's not what I wanted. I want to grab another player, which is the dual arpeggio. I mean, this is quite a nice sequence already. How do I make this longer? This way. Okay, then I wanna tweak this polytone here, not this one, but the other one. Oh, right, it's here. Sounds great, thank you. Okay, with the dual ARPs, this is actually quite nice. So with the sine wave it sounds nice and soft, which I was kinda hoping to do some more complicated sound design with this synth. But that's the thing, often just the simple sounds are so nice that why bother with anything complicated? Maybe I'll try something anyway. What is digital? It's a little harsh, I think. Wait, the sign has a shape as well. Yeah, I do like the sign here, so let's just leave it at that. And maybe a bit of delay though, because I love to have everything drawn in delay. Actually, maybe I don't want Ridley for this. Let's go with delay plus. No, let's go with what is it called? The echo. Now I wonder if I can adjust the volume of these two arpeggiators separately, or like the velocity. Yeah, I guess I can. I don't know if there's a way to set them all to a particular value. It's a bit fiddly to do them individually. Also, I don't know if this patch is actually velocity sensitive. No, it's not. But that's easy to fix. Also, I'm thinking I want the gates to be shorter on this rising arp. Like this. Okay, then the final thing I want to do with that is maybe give it some panning automation. It reminded me of a mobile game where we throw metal balls and break windows. Oh. I see. Not sure I've played that one. Closest thing I've played is probably Angry Birds, but that doesn't have metal balls. And I am getting the idea that I would like to modulate this gate length of the second ARP here, but I wonder if that's actually possible. It should be, right? So if I select all of this and combine, then we can look in the editor. The game is called Smash Hit. Oh, so does it have this type of like calm music? It sounds kind of contradictory to breaking windows, but I mean, I don't know, why not? I think this went out of sync somehow. Okay, so control 1, ARP 2, gate length, yes. So the maximum shall be whatever it is now, so that's 90%. They updated the combinator, but it looks like you still cannot type in numbers, which is a little frustrating. Okay, so now we have control 1 controlling the gate length, and I'm gonna put an LFO on that. Actually, for a change, I'm gonna put the LFO in the Reason rack itself. So this needs to go to control 1. Now I think this is scaled wrong because alright, this should probably start at 50%. And maybe this needs to stay here. Okay, now that's very fast. Let's go for a much slower rate. Okay, now it's working right. So it's a subtle effect, but it, I think, adds quite a nice variation. Or like this. I want to say a kind of breathing, but I'm not sure if that's an understandable way to put what I mean, but yeah, the point is the gate length here goes to short. And then it goes to long. Save again. Call that beep. Then I think I'm gonna do one more track and then I might just call it a night. So I want another pad, and this one should be a little higher. I'm thinking, what should I use to create that? I'm gonna do another reason rack. As long as I can find it. There we go. And this time it's gonna be parsec. So this is a spectral synthesizer. It's got some very nice oscillators in it and modifiers for those oscillators. Let me start it off with, I don't know, square wave. Make it quite quiet for now. Trust the process. Okay, now we have some kind of sequence. And I can start tweaking the sound. One of my favorites here is the ensemble one. But I do think we need a second oscillator for this. I think I'm gonna modulate the pitch a little bit so it's not quite so clean and sterile. I don't know about this oscillator B. I want to do something different here. This is quite a difficult synth to use. I find I'm not super good at it. So it's kind of like trial and error, trying different things to find something that sounds nice. Kinda like this one. Give it a bit of reverb. A bit of stereo spread. Maybe not gonna put the reverb here because I want something else before it. And I'm not sure what exactly I want there, but I feel like it needs something to glue it together a little bit. I wonder how pulverizer would do here. Okay, yeah. Taking a bit of the high end off is definitely gonna be a key here. Maybe a bit of Audiomatic. Okay, I'm starting to like that. Oh, I don't have Neutron installed here, so let's try the Relight Exciter. Just to add a bit of that high end that gets removed by using Audiomatic. Now I want a reverb here, and I will bring out the big one, which is Tsar 1. Actually, I'm gonna put this in a separate effects rack. Again, for parallel processing. Maybe I can cut a little bit of the lower end of this for the reverb. So it's a bit more like shimmery. It's maybe even a bit too wide now. That's better. I want to have it quite low in the mix. Tweak the envelopes a little. Maybe the sign can be a bit louder. Okay, I think that works as a basic mix. I'm not gonna get like deep into mixing now because I don't have all my plugins installed here. Okay. I think that's gonna be enough for this little piece for tonight. Probably gonna eventually make this live performable like I did on one of the previous ambient streams, where I map, you know, some controls to the MIDI controller. Which I now didn't really end up using that much, although it's nice that we have the option to do stuff with it. Yeah, so the way I've approached these kind of live performable pieces in Bitwig is, I guess, making some global controllers, like on the project level. Project remotes is what they're called. And then, you know, you can map these to anything in the project. And then just by tweaking the controls here, I could like make it a playable piece. But yeah, that's for another time. So that is indeed gonna be it for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining tonight. It was a bit of a different stream from the usual, but that's fun too. And yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some more time setting up the new computer to like actually replace the other Mac Pro as like my daily work machine. That's always a pain to do, but it needs to be done so that I can enjoy my much more quiet computer, which also is nice for making music. Have a lovely night with your new computer. Thank you, although I'm gonna turn off the computer after this and do something else. But yeah, thank you for joining. Like, follow, subscribe, press all the buttons, and I hope to see you on another stream. Bye bye.